Welcome to Knightline Live, a special edition. Zebras are in the house. It's referee night, presented with the Eastern Indiana Officials Association. And we'd like to take a quick second here and thank our sponsor of Knightline Live, Astro Industries out of Lynn. If you're looking for a job or maybe a part-time job just to supplement your income, go see our good friends up at Astro Industries in Lynn. Well, with me tonight, to my left, is Jeff Gwynn. He is the treasurer for the Eastern Indiana Officials Association. And then Betsy Swim, who is the secretary. And then at the far end down there is Mason Rottinghouse, and he is the chairperson for the mentor program. So we'll talk about this real quick, and then we'll have some other referees in here, some baseball and volleyball people also. So, everybody, thanks for joining. We appreciate you're here. So, Jeff, I want a little bit about why you started refereeing and, and how many years you've been working and so forth. What got you started?
I think we decided this was my 38th season. So it's been a while. Kind of grew up with it.
Oh, yeah.
My dad, Randy, who's in his 53rd year maybe.
Yeah.
It's around 53. He got me started as soon as I graduated in 1987, way back in the 80s. He paid for my first basketball license and told me, if you want some spending money, you better start reffing. So that's how I got started.
And you were a big man on campus down at Franklin, wasn't you?
Well, something like that.
Yeah, because you had all the money.
Yeah, I think Billy Brinkman and I, we kind of went around to all the elementary schools and got all the games we wanted there at Custer Baker Middle School.
Yeah.
And they treated us well, gave us some money to run around and chase the basketball around.
There you go. So, Betsy, what about you?
I just started officiating 6 years ago. I had been coaching for 25 at that point in time. Jessica had just graduated from high school and was going to go play volleyball at IU East. So I kind of took a back seat to coaching and wanted to be able to have a schedule where I could stay involved in volleyball, but work it around her schedule so I could follow her. So I started officiating, and I still continue coaching and officiating. So it's been 31 years of coaching now and 6 years of officiating.
Wow. Mason, what about you?
This will be my fourth season, I believe, doing basketball. So
The
I'm
youngster
baby.
on the panel.
I'm the young one. So I got started. I officiated up at Purdue in the intramurals, and from there I got my license when I left. So I've been doing it since.
So was Tyler Ford or Rachel Rayford?
Rachel
Rachel,
Rayford, and she's awesome.
Rachel, good friends with
Absolutely.
Rachel. I see her all the time out and about while I'm out scouting referees for the league and all that. So I see her all the time. Always good to see her. So things have changed on how you get started. Used to be back in the day, you had to have your principal had to sign a card, and you had to have 3 other referees sponsor you, and all this stuff. And it was a big deal because all these people was validating your character and all that. Now it's changed. Now you go online, hit a few buttons, pay your $100, and off you go. And so, how would you go about now telling people why should they start refereeing?
I tell the kids all the time. I told a kid the other night. He was lined up for the kickoff of the football game, and it was a big game. It's 2 teams that are 7-0. There was a lot of pressure in that game, a lot of nerves. And I went up behind the kid and I said, one of these days, you're going to be 56 years old and wish you were back out here playing.
Yep.
I said, just have fun tonight. And so I tell the kids it's a great way to stay involved with the game. You know, we officiate because we love the games, we love the sports, and it keeps us involved whether you're coaching or refereeing. It keeps us involved. It's just a great way to be around the game.
Betsy, what would you say to somebody about why should you referee?
I talk to girls about it all the time, especially while I'm coaching. I try to get our high school girls started officiating. They help run the 5th and 6th grade intramurals that we have at Hagerstown, and I try to put them over there blowing the whistle, and I just start them off easy and just tell them to call for serve and blow the whistle when the ball hits the floor. and some of them really like it and some of them really don't. But I mean, everybody except for maybe Mason, I mean, we're not going to be around forever, and we are going to need some younger officials.
Well, and that's a true statement there. Younger officials, hint out there, is that we do need younger officials because what's the average football? Isn't it like 58?
It's
Indiana?
something crazy like that.
It's super high.
It's pretty high.
The crew we had the other day was probably in the 70s. Was the average.
It helped Friday night because Mason filled in. First varsity game was this Friday night,
You bring the average down.
and he brought that average way down.
Brought it way down.
We were between him and Matt Alexander. We were looking pretty good.
Yeah, you guys.
We were looking great.
Scott West, that age up here.
Yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah. So Mason, what about you? What would you tell someone why to get started?
Well, I kind of come from a different view. I back off what Jeff said. You know, we need younger officials, and because it's a dying breed. At my age, people are money hungry, so it's an easy way to do something you love and enjoy while it's getting lucrative. I mean, you're not getting rich from it, but you're getting compensated pretty well.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the money because I mean, back in the day, honestly, everybody says, "Oh, I do it because I want." No. Jerry did it because I was young, I had a young family, and that extra. Well, back in those days, $12.50 a game.
Yeah, don't say $100.
Yeah, it wasn't $100 back then.
No.
I mean, the first Division I basketball game I ever did was $125. That was the pay. $125. It was Chicago Loyola and University of Evansville. $125. And today they would laugh you off the floor for that. But, it helps. And now today, when they're paying $80, $90, $100 a game, and you work 3 games a week, that's another $240, and that makes a difference when you're raising a young family or something. Makes a huge difference. So I'm glad we brought that up because it is. I mean, you can make money on it, and it is lucrative if you do it right and run it like a business and not just
Right, because as officials, we can pick and choose.
Yeah.
Now. Sometimes, I think all of us maybe have. Mason may not be there yet, and our other 2 guests are probably there too. We've probably officiated games we really didn't want to go do.
Absolutely.
And that's because we get such a great relationship with coaches and athletic directors, and we're there also to help out. It's not just all about us. We're there to part of this is giving back to the communities, giving back to the schools, giving our time back, because there were officials there when we played, like you were there for me when I played.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. How many technicals did you get? You only got one. That was from your dad, wasn't it?
my dad gave me one. That's a whole other show. We'll do that. We'll do that show in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
So,
we'll do that. We might going to get Randy in here to talk about it. Break it down. So, okay, so we have a program out there now. You can go to IHSA.org and click on, I think there's an officials tab there on the main page, and that will take you down to click here to sign up and get your and you have to take a test. It's an open book test. I'm assuming it's 50 questions now for the
I think it's
new people.
55.
55 questions, and you don't have to score 100, but you have to score 75% or 80%, something like that. Now, after you get that done, here's where it gets good, because back in the day, you just walked out on the floor and somebody told you what to do, and the training is much more now. So with that, let's talk a little bit of the mentor program, Mason, and what that brings to the table.
So the mentor program, the IHSA started to, obviously get more people involved in officiating. The big thing about the mentor program, your first year officiating is waived. So that lessens, I wouldn't say a burden, but it does save you $75 to $100. And it's waives the association fee as well as your licensing fee for the first year. Timing comes into it because if you want to do certain sports, you would want to wait if you want to utilize the free licensing. But most of the time when you sign up, you can just go ahead and get licensed and start working, really. We assign you with, we suggest you pick a top sport if you're wanting to do 3 either. Which one is your preference? Because you can only be assigned to one mentor. And we're within that association, we'd assign you to, we'd talk to the sports chair, and that sports chair will then tell us what mentor to put you under. And we're setting you up for success because if you utilize the mentor like they're supposed to be, you can go pretty far pretty quick.
Yeah, you can make advancements into the tournament or otherwise. Betsy, now when you came in, did they have the mentor program going at that time when you started?
Nope.
So this is something fairly brand new, and I've seen some people that's been on this mentor program, and it seems to me like it's working. Obviously, the one thing that you cannot get the mentor, you can't mentor them on, even though it's my favorite commercial ever, is where the wife is yelling at the football referee on the couch, and where do they learn this training? But basically, that's something you can't teach somebody, is when a fan is yelling, and which brings me to this point. You're sitting 125 feet away up in the grandstands, and you call a pretty good game up there. We want to get you out of that seat onto the floor or the court, and then you'll have a different angle of it, and you'll go, oh my, what was I thinking? Is that a true statement?
Very true.
Very true.
Very true. So,
Because, and even from coaching to officiating, you saw the difference from when you were coaching, you went, this is that, and then when you're officiating, you go, oh, no, it's not. There's some differences out there. So, Mason, if we're going to the mentor program, does the person that's the mentor, do they go out and watch games, or how does that all work?
So it's really kind of self-guided. There's no things you have to do in the mentor program. It's really up to the mentor and the mentee how they want to build their relationship and see, and I guess further the knowledge of the newer official. You can either go out and work games with the mentor. You can have weekly phone calls, and really the mentor program offers that shoulder to bounce things off of because you don't know where to go. When you first start, you really have no clue where to go. You're licensed and you signed up for an association, but you have nowhere to call home. The mentor program kind of gives you that home, that person who's going to answer any question you have, help you with rules knowledge, mechanics, really just be that trainer.
Now, is there any fee to the mentor program?
Nope, it's completely free.
Now, we're probably going to bring up the next great thing you probably want to do is belong to an association.
belong to that association. Obviously we have 24 associations in Indiana, so it's spread out throughout the state. We'll try to put you with one. I've had prospective officials call me, and the first thing I ask is, where do you live?
Yeah.
Okay, you can join ours. That would be great. I'd love to have you, but this one is a little bit closer, and I know this guy, and he would be great for you. But as far as the mentoring thing, so being the football chair, we get new football officials such as Mason and guys over the years. I assign a lot of the junior varsity and middle school football games, and I like to put those guys with me on those games where I get to watch them, I get to teach them and coach them up a little bit. So as far as the mentoring program, that's what I like to do. Basketball is a little different. Volleyball might be a little different, and the other sports, because we're lucky to have, we get to have 4 officials out there during the week. Those other sports, you've got 2, I believe.
Yep. And no breaks.
Yeah,
That's the thing. No breaks to talk.
Not a lot of situations where you can put yourself with that person all the time. So it's a little tougher, but that's what I like to do in football.
I do want to mention that the Eastern Indiana Officials Association is the oldest officials association in the United States, established back in 1944. So that's
Absolutely.
pretty cool. So, Betsy, so secretary. And here's something else we'll throw out there that people don't know. So 3 or 4 times a year, you have a meeting at the IHSA when all the secretaries of all the associations come in, and you talk about things that are happening out at the games, concerns, congratulatorial stuff. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm pretty new to being the secretary, so so far I've only attended one of those meetings, but we do have 3 a year, and I would say we meet more in committees than just all the secretaries getting together. But the secretaries, the presidents, the sports chairs, they're all attending, and then everybody breaks up into committees.
So when they do the committees over there, you're broken down into different ones. What committee are you?
Oh dear. Which one?
Awards
Awards.
On awards?
Is that the one?
for the official of the year.
Yeah, official
Are you on
year.
that?
Oh
I
yes.
think we're on that
yes.
one right now.
I never won.
Sorry, Jared.
Just throwing that out there. In fact, I even got a congratulatory for how many years I've been working, 46. I'm still waiting. Just saying. But, so, there you've got that. I used to be on one of the ones over there that was the officials evaluation committee, where you determine, and after every game, there's coaches' votes. And those coaches' votes tally up for the sectional, for what number you are at the sectional. And it's this big complex voting system to get there with that. Mason, you're probably just starting into that voting process. I think last year, did you work your first girls' sectional last year, wasn't it? Yeah. Which was quite an interesting night. So for those of you who didn't see it, it's the craziest play you'll ever see in basketball. Right at the end of the ball game, the Winchester game, I think it was absolute crazy. But it wasn't anything that the kids did, or it wasn't anything unsporting. It was just the chain of events, somebody bleeding to somebody getting sick, to throwing the ball at the timer, who then had stuff all over the ball, which then hit the clock and started the clock, time ran off, and it was an absolute zoo. However, the Knights Broadcasting Network, we knew exactly how much time was on that clock.
I believe you relayed that to me.
Yes, I did.
And I relayed it down to the official.
Yeah.
That worked out great.
Yeah, so we got it back because that was just wasn't it crazy?
It was. I will always remember my first sectional game.
Oh, you should with that.
But yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that was insane. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, it was. You got to watch it because you won't believe it until you do watch it. With that, Betsy, for the good of the order, do you have anything you want to add out here to draw these young people in to officiating, or even older people? I mean, people in their 50s.
Well, anybody that wants to get involved, besides the mentor program, once you are involved, there are chairs for each sport. There are co-chairs for each sport. And so we have established a co-chair in training program so that those who are interested in becoming a part of the leadership don't feel like they're flying blind. They can have a little help and learn along the way instead of just jumping in.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, you can send a question in for the panel after we take our break, and we'll answer any of those questions that happen to come across. Anything you want to add, Mason?
No, just if you're interested, you can either sign up on the IHSA site. No, if you're in our area, we'll redirect back to our association. If you're in different areas, it will direct back to the respective association of that zip code.
And that area pretty much is like Union County, Connorsville, out around Tri-High, edge of Newcastle,
No, even more north. Yeah, I mean, if you
Winchester.
sign up
and all that over to Richmond to the state line. You know,
And there are several officials that belong to more than one association. We got people from Mid Hoosier that join Eastern Indiana. So it's not like you just have to belong to one.
say I'm in 3 as well. So
And I think something you said earlier, Jerry, I wanted to bring up. A lot of times we say we want to get younger officials, but really we want newer officials.
Newer officials.
Okay, of all ages. We're not just looking for the 18, 19, 20. We want newer officials.
yeah, we
You
need
don't have to be
people.
a spring chicken.
Well, Mason and Betsy, thanks for joining us. And when we come back, we'll have Brian Humphrey and the godfather of baseball umpiring, Gary Schaefer. You're watching Knightline Live. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
When the professional's vehicle gets sick, they go to All Around Auto Repair and Sales, located in Fountain City. Their SAE certified technicians work on foreign, domestic, and those fun diesels. Work van not feeling good? Or maybe the family car? And don't forget about the weekend warrior. Go to All Around Auto, 408 US 27 Fountain City. It's good medicine for your car.
Looking for some good local barbecue? Well, look no further because Ann and the Pigs has arrived. We got tips, ribs, chicken, and our fan favorite, pulled pork sundae. You hungry yet? Well, check out our website at annandthepigs.com to find out where our truck is located next. And if you miss our truck, don't worry, you can cater with us year-round by using our website as well. Ann and the Pigs, bringing tasty where it's needed.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Being aligned with the Better Homes and Gardens brand brings with it a unique approach to identifying, marketing, and servicing distinctive homes. We know that your experience while buying and selling your home is as important as the homes being bought and sold. That's why our affiliated agents are passionate about personalizing every part of your real estate experience to ensure that every moment is distinctive.
In this market, finding a home you love and actually closing the deal is a cause for celebration. And it all starts with a competitive edge from First Financial Bank. We'll get you pre-qualified fast so you can get your offer in first. We even offer programs with low down payment options and reduced closing costs. Plus, our friendly local team is always here to help. A bank that's ready to help you find a home and a reason to celebrate, however you choose to. That's First.
First!
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back to Knightline Live Special Edition tonight. It is referees all night long. It's zebras after zebras after zebras, and sometimes you can even say, "Hey, Blue." That's those umpires down there.
Okay.
You respond to that. "Hey, Blue."
Well, we try to coach people to say my name or sir as I respond that kind to them and sir, but we do answer to Blue.
So anyway, with us now, Jeff Gwynn's still with us. Brian Humphrey from down around Rushville. Brian has worked volleyball and basketball for years and years and years. Known Brian for a long time. Brian, you've worked the state finals in volleyball a few times and
Several.
And, six of them. And Gary Schaefer, longtime baseball umpire around here. You see him trotting up and down the basketball court now and then. But, gentlemen, thanks.
I got one in basketball also.
You got one basketball state? All right. Well, good deal. So we've now talked about the mentor program, how you get your license. Now, how much fun is it? I mean, really, how much fun is this refereeing job? This refereeing stuff, is it fun or is it a job? Gary, you want to start?
It's the most fun I've ever had, probably. Most rewarding, I could sure say that. To say every game that you take the field on, it's a pleasure to do. Sometimes it gets pretty intense, yeah.
Sometimes it's more a pleasure than others.
That's exactly right. But when you walk off and know that you've done a good job, it's very rewarding. It's very, also the most humbling thing I've ever done. Because I was guilty of yelling at officials earlier in my time when my sons were in sports, etc. And as soon as I became an official, I got a whole new attitude real quick.
Well, you know, and I think that's a common theme, is that right there, that people have yelled at officials, and then suddenly when they got the striped shirt on, I'm not liking this a lot. So, Brian, do you have a good time that you think about of being out on the court?
Well, this is my 39th season, and the one comment I would make is that some of the best people I know and some of the best people I have ever met, I've met through officiating. Jerry, you and I have been friends for over 30 years,
yeah.
and his dad and I were friends, and now he and I are friends, and you know, just the people around the state that you get acquainted with, and the people that you get to work with as an official, and every now and then you like a coach too.
Yeah. Now that happens. You know, when you're talking about that story, you talk about this is a family.
Absolutely.
It's like your extended family. Something happens to somebody, all these other referees are there. They're there to help if something happens. I bring up Wayne Robbins.
Yes.
We all remember Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne got cancer, and, you know, bless him, he worked. He continued to work. And why? Because he said, this is like my family. These kids are like my family. I don't want to give up on them. And he didn't. And Wayne probably, because of that, I but he lived a couple years longer than probably most people on the average with that type of cancer did. And so, and people don't realize that, referees are real people. Mm-hmm. I got a job. Jeff's got a job. You're retired. You're retired.
All walks of life.
All walks of
We got
life.
doctors, lawyers,
Yes.
dentists,
Yes.
school
Yes.
teachers,
Yes.
investors, mailmen, whatever it is. It's all walks of life. And you were talking about reffing with my dad, then reffing with me, then to see you referee my son's games. I mean, that was pretty cool. That was a great.
It was
great
good
moment.
for me.
Yeah, and then Jerry, you refereed some of my games.
Yep.
Then we got to referee together.
Yep.
I'm part of my son's games, and then we got to watch our sons play baseball against each other.
Yeah, that was fun. And they played together on some teams.
Together, yeah.
So
great moments.
It was good times. Mm-hmm. And that's what I try to explain to people, that when you get out there in officiating, there's a lot of good times with it. Now, is there some bad times? Yeah, absolutely there is. With any job that you have, and with that, Gary. So let's talk a little bit of baseball here. So I'm wanting to get started umpiring baseball. What am I looking at as far as some expenditure?
Not to be run people off or be discouraging, but baseball, softball are the most expensive sports to get in. Of course, you've got a chance here with this wonderful mentoring program to waive $100, $125, $30 right off the bat and get in. But you're just minimum, I'm thinking you need a $500 bill here to get on the field, just minimum. Mask, chest protector, shin guards.
Yeah.
Uniforms are extremely expensive.
Yeah. And don't go cheap on this stuff either.
Do not skimp on the chest protector.
Yes, do not.
Do not.
I have used that story.
Do not skimp.
Many times.
Brad Fisher.
Soft chest protector.
Brad Fisher he'll vouch for me. Do not go cheap.
Yeah. You can't do that, because I'll tell you what, it'll hurt.
It did.
Now, on the flip side, Brian, volleyball, basketball referee, what are we looking at on expenditure to get started in that?
Shirt, pants, and shoes. And if I can go back to the mentor program for a minute, I'm a mentor in both volleyball and basketball. And I had a mentee that in volleyball. And as Mason talked about, how much interaction there is can vary.
Yeah.
But this mentee went to the certification clinic with me. They came and attended some of my matches, and I actually had them on the court during my coaches meeting and captain's meeting. And now, if I could throw one funny story in there. We're working through, and she's learning and getting ready, and I'm sitting at home one morning and my phone rings, and she says, "I've got a problem." I said, "Well, what on earth's the problem?" She says, "I got a call and they need an official tomorrow night." And I'm, and I said, "Well, you said yes, didn't you? You're ready." And she said, "I ordered shirts and they haven't come in yet." So my mentee drove from Batesville to Rushville, and I loaned her a shirt. And she said, "I promise it'll be laundered when I bring it back." And I said, "I don't care, So now, if I can jump ahead a year or two, about 3 weeks ago, I showed up at a match, and the AD said, "Oh, we had to make a change in your partner." Guy called off, and I said, "Oh." I said, "Who am I working with?" "Well, it was my mentee."
That's cool.
And so, I was excited to work with her. She was excited to work with me. She did an outstanding job. And I told the fella at the timers at the scoreboard, I said, "When she's over here, tell her, say, that's a pretty good looking shirt. Is it yours?" So we constantly, we have fun.
Yes.
And people don't realize, now, once we're on the court or you guys the field, whatever it might be, we're all business. We're there for a reason. We're hired. We're contracted. And Jerry already pointed out the pay is becoming substantial.
Yeah, it's getting lucrative.
Yes.
Jeff, what about you?
So when I started out in basketball, there was this closet in my house that had an unlimited supply of shirts and pants and whistles, and I thought everybody had that. Was it just me? Because I thought everybody had that.
No.
Was it just having a dad that officiated?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way it.
Thank
but
you, Dad.
I wasn't sure
appreciate
if you could fill your dad's pants or not.
Well,
in officiating back in the day.
That's the way it is.
But you know, one of the things as a mentor is that we help that mentee.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where you need to look to get your shirt, to get your pants. You know, what
we have
kind of
approved,
shoes.
We have
Yes.
IHSA has approved
Approved
vendors.
gear, right.
And I tell my mentees, don't buy anything until you talk to me,
Exactly.
talk to Fisher, talk to a professional first, because it's too expensive to do the wrong thing here. Just charcoal pants versus blue pants or whatever.
There's like 100 different shades of charcoal if you just go off and buy it.
That's
it
right.
seems like, but there's only one actual shade that's approved. So
yeah, and the next common question is, where can I go to get my pants hemmed? Because I know Mason he filled in with us Friday night on a football game, and he had to get his pants hemmed. You know, so that's the next question.
that's a good question right there.
Are we allowed to advertise for people?
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3 people that do that.
If you got people that do that,
Well, they used to be Armstrongs. They're Fox
Yeah.
Cleaners. Those people are excellent. And
All
I
right.
tell
That's a
these
good
people,
point.
put the pants on, put the shoes on you're going to wear, whether they're plate pants, get them and have them hemmed by a professional. They'll charge you $18 at Up Attire, and you don't know what you're getting. No, and Up Attire's great. Don't take
Yeah.
that wrong.
but once it shows up, you're stuck.
It's yours.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's yours.
So in the mentor, just talking a little bit about the mentor stuff, and it doesn't stop at high school. It moves on to college. I mean, we work college basketball together, and it moves on to that. You have people that you take under your wing, and then it doesn't stop there. It goes on to the pro basketball, where people I deal with, and Jeff has worked with us in that, and I get a phone call from Jason Goldenberg in the NBA, who worked with me on my crew for like 2 years, and he's working in the NBA now. Whenever he comes to Indiana, here come tickets. So I go to the Pacers game for free. Great seats, 7 rows up in the corner, beautiful. But that's how it works. And back to the big family thing.
It's part of the giving back.
Yeah, it's the give back.
That's how I started on the give back thing. I was coaching Babe Ruth baseball, and of course we had to spend our time officiating. Then that went into just officiating there, and somebody told me, you do a pretty good job here. Why don't you just get a license and get paid for it? Well, there you go. That's where it went.
Well, I think a lot of times that we start off in a coaching, and then we see the light and leave the dark side and become a referee.
I went the other way around though. That's something happened. But I tell you what, though, I think umpiring for several years, and I'm tell you right now, nobody runs better baseball meetings than Eastern Indiana.
Yeah.
Gary is a big part of that. I know Brad's a big part of that. I'm telling you what, nobody runs better baseball meetings. And as an umpire and going through those meetings and umpiring for so long, I think that's made me a better baseball coach. I know things that umpires, what they look for, what they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
When we get off the bus and we're running late, we cut our warm up short. We may not take infield.
And that's
little,
so much appreciated.
Little things like that.
You can't believe how
that's
much
things
that's
that I
appreciated.
know, and we just get going. So.
Well, I think the other thing is that when you're refereeing high school basketball, you're refereeing the future. And I mean the future is, I had that kid that's playing at Purdue now, and I had this kid playing at IU. Oh my, look at Duke, and then later on, he's playing in the NBA now, and I refereed him. I can't even fathom how many guys I refereed in high school basketball that's playing in the NBA right now, that played in the NBA. Couldn't even begin to count those numbers. And that's just, this is a fun thing.
It's pretty cool. The look.
It really
look
is.
back on it. It's pretty cool.
And Eric Montrose, God rest his soul, that dude had the biggest hands. I mean, he'd like this, just wrap around, shaking his hand. I'm like, holy cow, this dude is huge. And, you know, and then when those players like that, something happens to them, you feel for it. Part of you goes, man, that's terrible that happened to them.
Yeah, the fun part is the guys that we're with. You know, we're fortunate in football to have a 5-man crew.
Yep.
And more times than not, we're with 4 other guys that we want to be around. And you better hope so, because on a Friday night, you're driving at least an hour to a game.
Yep.
You get there an hour before the game.
Yep.
You have a 2-hour game.
Yep.
You're there another 45 minutes after, and then an hour's drive home. More times than not in basketball, you're with guys that you enjoy being with. Now, I know the assigning is cut into that a little bit.
It's changed that.
But
Yeah,
for the
that's
most part,
changed that.
yeah, we're with, typically can be with the guys we want to be around. But anyway, that's the fun part, the camaraderie, the being with your friends, and it's fun. I don't know another word for it. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
What's the closest? I can't play anymore. I played college basketball, but I always wanted to be a baseball player. I was just a ho-hum baseball player. But it's closest I can get to the game and still be in the game, and you are in the game.
You're in the game. Absolutely, that's right. And sometimes, you know, and the angle that you get, the position that you're supposed to be at, it's all critical. It doesn't matter what sport. It's critical to be in the right spot at the right time and make the right call.
And there's no end to what you learn. I learned something almost every at this point, at 36 years. Pick up
Every year.
something at a meeting or somebody else's meeting, or I get to work with somebody in a tournament, and you pick something up. There's the learning process does not end ever.
Because when I first started, the basketball rule book was 32 pages. It's now about 80 pages.
It's 80.
And
No,
so
it's 4
that
books
means,
now.
Huh?
4 books.
Yeah.
4 books.
So that's like 50 pages of new things that happened since I started, 46 years ago. That's how much things have changed. And rules change because of situations that come up, and everybody goes, what's that? And, and replays come in and all that. So, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and when we come back, we'll pick up where we left off. You're watching Knightline Live. Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more. Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
So I recommend Dr. Johnson all the time over the years. Many people have come to Dr. Johnson for my recommendations. And if people live 50 miles away and they tell us they have this problem and they're going to have an operation, we say, no, go see our chiropractor, Dr. Johnson.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
L&S Lumber Hardware and Supplies in Greens Fork. Walk into what a hardware store should be. Filled with Valspar paint, Red Ryder wagons, generators, old Milwaukee power tools, and DeWalt Power Tools. Animal feed, lawn and garden supplies. Make sure you ask about our pole barn packages. L&S Lumber, hardware and supplies in Greens Fork.
We would love to invite you to Life Spring Students, our youth group at Life Spring Church that is just south of Northeastern on 27. We meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. You can grab some pizza or a snack from our cafe and then hang out with your friends until 7 p.m. At 7, our student band leads us in some worship through music, and we have a lesson from God's Word, the Bible. We then split into small groups based on grade and gender to apply what we have learned and pray with one another. Find out more at lifespring.tv/students.
Martin's Country Mart, US 27 Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle. Maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City.
When it comes to your home, you don't just want the job done, you want it done right. At Nate Lee Remodel and Restoration, we believe your space deserves craftsmanship you can trust at a price that makes sense. From remodeling and restoration to custom trim work, interior painting, interior and exterior doors, or even that deck you've always wanted, every project is handled with care, attention to detail, and a personal touch. Call Nate Lee Remodel and Restoration, where quality meets character.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. I'm Jerry Middleton. Along with me is Jeff Gwynn and Brian Humphrey and Gary Schaefer down at the end down there. Excuse me, just talking a little bit here off the air and just show you how much fun we have with this. Mason's back here in the peanut gallery, and he's picking on Gary over there. Said, yeah, when you were in school, you had to walk uphill both ways in a blizzard and
Barefoot.
He
had to throw that in,
yeah,
didn't he?
and all that.
And all that was true.
And this just shows you how much fun there is and kidding back and forth that you get, and it's just a good time. Brian, you got a soccer story for us?
My son, 4-year letter in soccer in high school, and he was getting ready to go off to college, and I said, he didn't want to do basketball. And I said, you need to get your soccer license. And I kind of pushed him into it, kind of like your dad did you to get basketball. And he got his soccer license, and then I said, okay, we're going to decide how far do you want to drive from the university. 25 miles? We drew a circle, 25 miles around the university. And I looked up every school, high school, and every athletic director's name and phone number. I said, you call them, tell them you are a student at the university, and you are 4-year soccer letter winner, and you are a soccer official. He never worked at the Burger Doodle all through college. He refereed soccer.
Sure,
Now,
sure.
He did it for about a year after he got out, and job and family and all got in the way like it does for a lot of people. But his years at college, he refereed soccer and made more money refereeing soccer than he could have made at a pizza place or a hamburger place or anything else. So I'm encouraging young people, and not just young people, because my last mentee was not a young person by any means. Bless her heart.
He called you old.
No. But you can get that first year covered.
Yep.
To the IHSA, and the first year of your association fees are paid. I belong to Mid-Hoosier, which is Rush County, Shelby County, and we go clear down to Madison.
Yeah.
We go, but there are 24, and there's one in your area no matter where you are. And those meetings we have several in person and several Zoom meetings, great educational tools. But young people, if you're getting ready to go off to college, the nice thing about officiating is it's good money for a part-time job while you're in school, and we pick the nights we want to work.
Right.
Okay, I don't want to work on Wednesday because whatever. I don't, you just go into the system and you block it. And, I don't want to, I've got something important on Monday night that I want to do. And it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't want to work on Monday night, you just go in and pick that date and hit block.
Yep.
They look at it and they say, oh, well, Mason's open on Tuesday night. He's not open on Monday night. We need him Tuesday night. And he may pick up an extra date. So it's your mentor will teach you all of those things, help you get your schedule. You have to work at it. And then don't expect to work the state finals your first or second year. I became an overnight success my 13th season.
How many ADs and coaches had to retire for that to happen?
A bunch.
And other officials.
Yeah. I told somebody the other day, I said, you know how many people I've made mad in the first 38 years? All of them.
Well, there's plenty of people that probably wish my dad hadn't have gotten my license for me. And,
Yeah.
So that happens. That happens.
Gary, let me go to you on this. You're behind the plate, and you have an obnoxious fan calling balls and strikes. Pretty much opposite of what you're calling. Even one down the middle should be a ball. How do you react and what do you do? Because this is the elephant in the room. This is why young officials don't start, because they're afraid, I shouldn't say afraid, concerned about getting yelled at and so forth. So let's talk about that here for a second before we take our next commercial break.
Well, things have changed on that a little bit, because when I first really got rolling officiating, I'm working a plate like that, and I was working at a local place, and I heard a guy very close backstop. We have great facilities now. Things were different then.
Oh, yeah.
And I could basically hear every word that guy said. Well, as soon as he started swearing, I just turned around and pointed, because I knew where he was.
Yeah.
But I said, I don't know who you are or where you at, but I will find you and you will leave. Now, we are not to talk to the fans. We have new verbiage from HSA. We go to the site director, I go to you. If I'm here, I go to you, and things get taken care of pretty fast.
They get taken care of fast.
Pretty fast.
Quickly.
But there's threats and profanity, I just won't abide. I just won't. Kids, fans,
right.
It won't happen.
It doesn't
Not
need
very
to
often.
happen.
Now, what's the first thing we say at the plate meeting, or we're meeting with coaches at midfield, or we're meeting with coaches before the game? Sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
It starts with us, and it works its way down.
Yep.
We have to be good sports all the time, or it doesn't work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, and sportsmanship is, the days it seems like of somebody falling, somebody helping somebody else up on the opposite team, this day it seems like that doesn't happen.
There's far and few between. Now
Far
we've
and
got
few.
too many.
I'll send in a good sporting report on the guy, or the girl or guy that does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we've got, a team giving up, a 9-yard rush, but they made a tackle and they want to get up and dance, and because I made this big tackle.
Yeah.
We have to be good sports.
Yeah.
Officials, coaches, players, fans, all the parents, everybody.
Going back, not to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Going back just a little bit, when I made a comment about the most humbling, becoming an official was the most humbling experience of my life, because I'm not humble. I think there's some people in this room who could tell you that. But you have to keep, as an official, self-control, trying not to let your emotions, and it's real tough sometimes. In fact, the more calm you are and monotone you are,
that's right.
It's a very diffusing technique.
Yep.
Besides humbling to the other party.
Yep. You're right. You're right with that. You maintain this level of control. If I would tell people, if we get excited, they get excited.
The more you go up, they go up.
You know, the old Joey Crawford 4 hops and score the basket, or the 4 hop block. Everybody gets excited, and when you just boom, bam, and you're done. What about Brian? Have you had any?
Well, we are not supposed to talk to the fans, but I'm not very good at following the rules, Gary.
I talked to somebody just this past season.
I talked to somebody last week at a volleyball match, and this guy was, I won't mention where they were from, but they went way up high on my list of poor sports and not good fans, but that's not important now. And he was yelling, double hit, double hit. So between sets, I came down off the stand, and I was getting my lineup card ready, and he was walking back up, and I said, do you have a good understanding of the new double hit rule? And he said, what? So I explained it to him, 10 seconds.
Yep.
And I said, if it doesn't go over the net, it is not a double hit, as bad as it is. And I said, we don't like that, but that is the rule. And I said, the way you were yelling at me, I figured you probably didn't understand it. He says, I didn't know that at all. Well, you know what? We went 4 sets, and I never heard his voice the third or fourth set at all, because he was yelling about what he didn't know about. So I have been known to talk to fans. One other quick story.
Well, I got one here real quick.
All right.
Women's college basketball. You could always tell who the freshman parents were, because they're the ones that always yelled 10 seconds in the backcourt. Well, there was no backcourt count back then. You look at it and say, daughter a freshman? Yeah. How do you know? It's easy.
Yeah.
And then you tell them, they're like, I didn't know that. I said, well, there's a lot of things you probably don't know I wouldn't be yelling about. So
I'm at Madison for a girls' high school basketball game, and there's an older couple sitting on the front row, and obviously son and daughter-in-law sitting behind them, and right at half court. And I kind of turned around and I said, I usually try to pick out my troublemakers before the game starts. I said, I figured it's her. I pointed to Mom. And of course, Dad laughed, and the son said, it's her. Well, you know what? I was back there for a boys' game a couple weeks later. They were tickled to see me. And it was a 10-second exchange. So I know we're not supposed to, and somebody will see this, and I'll probably get yelled at. But
you might. But there's such a difference in rules between high school, college, professional level.
Yep.
There's a difference. And what you see when you're watching football on Saturday and you're watching football on Sunday, then you bring it to Friday night and you want these same calls. And the biggest one we get in football is, helmet to helmet. Well, we don't have helmet to helmet in high school football.
Correct.
Right. So there's a difference, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. I'm sure volleyball, there's some differences. There has to be, because that's the way they want it. So they're a completely different set of rules. Very few of them are the same, except for the major ones that have been around for 100 years.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. You're watching Knightline Live.
Holistic financial services and professional advice to help you manage and preserve your assets. Welcome to Private Wealth Management at Old National. Here, we provide financial planning and investment strategies from Old National Wealth Advisors and premier banking services from Old National Private Banking to help you plan for and tackle your broader financial needs. It's time to explore Private Wealth Management at Old National. Learn more at oldnational.com/private.
Your school helps shape the person you become, opening your mind to new ideas and belonging to a community. Whether it's earning an advanced degree, joining the FFA, pushing your health and wellness, playing in the band, or playing on the field. It's a safe place where everyone knows your name, and a kid can be a kid. The halls of today filled with the leaders of tomorrow. Northeastern.
You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scoretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scoretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scoretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called timeout because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app and curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen to Subway. Eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. A special edition tonight. It's zebras all over the place here with the Eastern Indiana Officials Association, and one mid Hoosier who's we'll just sweep him off the floor here. We don't need him. We'll sweep him off. No, Gary, we're going to wrap up here. You got any final words of wisdom here?
Well, I would like to see more people, and you're right, not just young people, but people to try to enter into the profession. The mentee program is outstanding. We hook you up to give you every chance to succeed. So don't be afraid. You're not going to be standing alone. We will help you. We will help you get your test passed, get you the right equipment, etc. That's what I would say.
Brian, what about you?
I couldn't echo that anymore. If you go to a basketball game, I'm just picking basketball as that and volleyball are my 2 sports. You go to a basketball game and you look at the average age of the crew.
Oh, yeah.
We are heading into difficult times if we don't get more people involved. And it's a world of fun. It's a great way to be involved. It's a great way to meet new people. It's a great way to travel around the state. And, young people struggling money-wise, I know basketball paid for my son's braces. It paid for sports camps. It paid for some of those extra things when we were a young family.
Absolutely.
And
not to interrupt you, but I intend to make clear. I intend to clear $25 or $30 an hour. That counts me driving and coming home from the game. That's a pretty close figure.
Yep.
You can't go to work at McDonald's and do that.
Nope, that's for sure.
But I just encourage people to consider it, to contact Jerry or Jeff or Gary or me or Mason or Betsy. contact somebody and ask your questions. We're available. We're all Central Indiana. I'm a little further away maybe, but
Not much.
But not much. Centerville, Rushville.
Drive down there for a bowl game.
Oh, absolutely. But you got a question, don't hesitate. Now, Mason, you and I worked a game last year together. I would never hesitate to call him and say, hey, I need a third on this date. And
But you only worked a two-man crew that game, though,
No,
right?
no. But you develop, and
Yes.
and it expands, and it just gets better and better. But the serious comment I started to make was that, Jerry, I don't know how many more years you're going to do it, or how many more years Gary.
I hope to.
Well, you know,
I'm contacted through 27.
We're getting to the point where if guys like Mason and, you know, any age group can step in and have years to work and years to enjoy it, and we are going to need more officials sooner than later.
Right.
Sooner than later.
Well, I'm officiating 11 months out of the year now. It's August to the beginning of July for me at this point. There's more schools out there than ever before. There's more games. There's middle school games now. There's travel team, travel baseball, travel softball. There's dirt road leagues on Sundays for basketball. There's anything you can think of out there. There's so many more games. and we need opportunities. We need newer officials.
Yep. Well, everybody, we're up against the shot clock here.
Yeah, I told Rick Fletcher we wouldn't go past an hour, but, you know, I just ruined that.
Well, that's because you got in here and started yapping. That's the way it works.
That'll happen.
Hey, everybody, Betsy and Mason.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
the pleasure is mine. I'm glad we could do this. You were better than Brad Fisher anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
That'll be there forever and ever.
That will be.
Out there.
It's there.
Thanks, Jerry.
Anyway, so we wanted it's so nice we got together tonight and got this done. And if you do have any questions, feel free to call the HSA and they can always give us our numbers, how to get a hold of us and all that. And we would love to see you out on the floor refereeing versus sitting in the stands and refereeing. Why would you pay $6 when you get paid $90?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. And for our executive producer back there, Aiden Crane tonight, we appreciate his work. This has been another good night.